Welcome to Agora by Give Something Back to Berlin. In this podcast series, we'll be finding out how migration has changed our urban landscape and exchange ideas with those who are making a difference. Join us while we tackle issues ranging from human rights and diversity to migrant identity and belonging. Hello and welcome to Agora. I'm Gaby and today I'm joined by Iranian composer, sound and visual artist Iman Jesmi. Welcome, thank you so much for being here today. So you started off, playing the santur from a very early age, and then you went on to study traditional Iranian music and Western music at university. But after university, there was a shift in your musical focus towards everyday sounds and the sonic environment. What led you to explore sound and music in this way?
So thank you so much for having me here. I can mention some reasons actually. First of all, my introverted personality, which led me to focus on my own ideas. And the other reason I think is the situation of music in Iran at that moment. So it was not easy to work with other musicians. No, you had to get permission from government for every movement you want to do. So and the other thing is that I just wanted to be myself. I think that the only thing that I could find myself was this not being ordinary musicians as a contemporary classical music or classical Iranian musicians. I just wanted to be myself. So that's why I shifted from this normal musicians to this multimedia artist.
Yeah, and exploring your way of expressing yourself through music.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, amazing. And you also use a lot of visual elements and video documentation in your work. Was that influenced at all by your classical training in music? How do you approach the visual elements?
Actually, it's a funny story because the reason that I used the visual elements was just in that moment I started these kind of musical works. Was the best platform for me was Instagram.
Okay, yeah.
It was the only, and still I think it's the only in the important social media that everybody interacts with. So I just wanted to put some music in it. So it was a visual platform. So I was wondering that I should do something that people can interact more. It's not a good place for music. And then I had lots of research. It's not research. I had lots of studies from cinemas or graphical design. I read lots of things about that. So I had some potentials. I used it in this combination of this contrapuntal of music and visual elements.
Yeah, there's some really beautiful footage that you capture, and also sort of capturing like everyday interactions with people. That's really interesting because it also somehow reflects the music or the field recordings that you take.
Yeah, it was just at the beginning. It was just my iPhone, so I did everything with it. Video recording, sound recording, even editing.
Wow.
I just wanted to be everything as simple as possible.
Yeah.
I was so influenced by this ready-made by Marcel Duchamp, ideas. Just wanted to everything be as ready as possible. So I just grabbed my iPhone, record sound, record video, and that's even that limitation that the application gave me. I remember that time iMovie just let me I think 3 separated audio files. So I just only had 3 lines of audios, and then 1 audio that came simultaneously with the video. So I had just 1 video and 4 sounds. So I should work with this. All of the materials that I had was this. So it was some experience to work with this kind of limitation that came by this sort of applications, technology, mobile phone.
Yeah. but it makes you more mobile to capture those moments that
Definitely,
are,
yes.
you know, if you had a big camera and all your mics, then you miss that moment. So you're really able to capture like things as they're happening, which is,
I still prefer to use, just my mobile phone.
And
it's
pretty
quality,
good.
The quality is not that much good, I think, but it's quick.
It's quick. It's okay.
It's simple. You can use it everywhere. But just if you want to turn your recorder, Zoom recorder, for example, turn it on. It takes maybe about 15 minutes to 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Just 15 seconds, I think. And you're gonna miss that everything. You just found something in the street and you just quickly grab it. So Zoom recorder doesn't work in that moment. Your phone is perfect equipment actually that you can use.
I'm going to be using my phone more often now. But so you also are the founder of a music school in Tehran called Aknun. Can you tell us what motivated you to set it up and what the musical focus is?
Actually, it was so ambitious of my personality in music. I just wanted to go to this kind of educational teaching, finding new methods to younger generation actually in Iranian classical music. I designed lots of courses for teaching Iranian music, but the thing that unfortunately it was too soon, I think, for Tehran that moment, because most of the younger actually told me that, are we qualified enough to come and attend these courses? And it was so sophisticated and so advanced. It was like a university. I didn't, I wasn't good at business and marketing that music that moment. And still I think I'm not good at business and art. But the whole process of this designing new methods and just find new things in even teaching, how we can teach this kind of Iranian and Eastern music even to Western people quickly and practical way. So that was a great experience. Still we have something, but I think I hope that we can find opportunity in here, can continue it someday. I'm not sure about it.
So you'd like to maybe continue doing something similar in Berlin, or?
Yeah, because in that moment I remember that I designed a great and wonderful summer course for Iranian music. So and I wanted to for me it was impossible to do it on my own. I really need funds, sponsors. It was impossible to find it in Tehran that moment, and still I think nobody take care of it. There was this kind of if they invest in something, this is because I told you about this situation in Iran, musical situation at the first beginning of our discussion. Everything is about money. I think all of the world now is about money. But if they invest money on your project, they just looking for their interest. Just how much you get back to them. So the problem was I couldn't find any sponsor, but I think if you can find it, there was lots of it. Still we have those notes, those sketches, everything, the researches that I did in that moment that can be quite helpful.
So you've got like the structures and everything that you could use. But I guess there's so many limitations in a way when you're trying to set up something new or approach like education and music in a slightly different way, because you're really having to like push things and change people's perception of how they approach education.
Also but the problem was other problem. I think it was my own musical background and my approaches to music. When you do something new in your own artworks, people look at you that it's not music, it's not art even, they cannot accept it. Most of the people are normal and just the people that cannot conceive art as contemporary things. And I had these kind of experiences in Tehran most of the time. So in that time, when they cannot trust you, that was even, I think, is more difficult because they cannot accept this kind of education as a new approach. They prefer to be on that safe zone, this conservative safe zone. So I think because of this, that we have this awful situation of music in some countries like Iran, because the younger generation, actually, they don't like Iranian traditional music.
And they want to explore and experiment with different sounds, but quite limited in that.
Yeah. That's a problem, because they still use that methods that was, I think it's from decades, hundreds of years ago, I think.
Yeah.
So nobody want to change it.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to do that in countries like Iran, I think Iraq, Syria, countries that had this kind of history on their arts and the music, it's very difficult because people and musicians do not accept it.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's certain parts that are limited in that respects, There's not like space for people to explore, experiment with new ideas or new sounds. But so each city has a distinct sound that's, affected by people's interactions or their behavior, that's rooted in culture or language. So I'm interested to hear, what sort of sounds you would expect in Tehran. What's the, soundscape like?
But that's very difficult because you cannot answer to this kind of question, or you cannot say that, okay, this city has this kind of, it's not like a picture that you can mention, okay, that this tower is just for Berlin, you can just see it in Berlin. But, and also it depends on which part of city you live in. So we have many experiences in different parts of the city. Each city, it doesn't matter, Tehran, Berlin, or Paris. But I think the most sonic atmosphere in Tehran is the thing. Azan is mainly a sound that you can hear it 5 times a day. And motorcycles, we have lots of motorcycles on the streets. And in some part of Tehran, there are some street hawkers, sailors actually, that they shout something. And I think, in my opinion, Tehran has not that much bass sounds. Just everything is on high pitch. Overall is on high pitch. It's quite different from you can listen to some bass sound in Berlin, for example, in Hamburg, in my experience. But we cannot find that vibration, powerful vibration in Tehran. And that's most of the things that I can mention is best iconic way. And this azan that I told you about, it's completely different from other Muslim countries, because in Iran, Islam is different. It's Shia Islam, so the things is different. Even the words is different. So they can distinguish. This is from Shia's country, or this is kind of you cannot, maybe it's complicated to say that, for example, is it from Iraq or Syria or something, some countries that is Sunni. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. This Sunni, we call it in Persian. But Shia is completely different, and this is Shia Azan is a very distinguished sound of Tehran.
Okay. Amazing. So in April, you're going to premiere a live audio-visual performance called Sensory Souvenir here in Berlin. can you tell us a little bit more about the performance and how you studied the impact of immigration?
Yeah. The April show is, I think it's been 9 months, I think, that I'm working on this project. And at the beginning, it was quite different. My ideas was different because I was in Tehran and reading about immigrants' experiences in terms of sound and smell. But after that, I came to Germany, everything has changed for me. So I just experienced it myself. It was about my own experience in the city. And in April, I think every day, I have some new ideas, so I should say that maybe the night before the show, I'm going to change something, as I can, as they, the whole project give me this permission to do this, all of the changes. But we have this kind of live performance. I just wanted to bring real life into this 2 days show. We're gonna have this kind of ordinary everyday life. How's it like being migrants? You're cooking your own dishes. You're listening to your own music. You're contacting. You're calling your moms, dads, your family on your home country. So I think that on those days I'm going to have this kind of experience. Show all of them.
And the audience will be sort of invited into the performer's world of
it's not that much interactive, but they can
but they'll be able to smell the food and so lots of different senses.
Yes, definitely, because we have smell, we have music, we have sound, we have lots of videos, but I'm so curious about the results. Just wanted to see that how audience are going to interact with this piece. Just because I didn't think about this to put any specific space for the audience. Just audience can come in and be there, or 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. It doesn't matter. Just you can come and go. It depends on their own choices. It's in my opinion, it's an installation. It's a real installation. It's timeless. So whenever you come in, it's your own piece. It's your own experience of this artwork. So let's see.
Sounds amazing. So immersive as well. Everyone will have a slightly different experience of that performance. It's
it is really sensorial and multi-artistic, multi of everything I can say. And just this kind of audiovisuals, just adding this live performance, it was really complicated. It was tough.
Lots of layers, lots of things to think about. And you've been studying other people's experience of migration and movement and culture, but what's your own experience or sonic experience since living in Europe?
The things that I can mention here is the experience of church sounds. In Iran, for example, the churches they're not allowed to have this, to make this ring bell. So it was strange for me at the beginning, but after I get used to it, but I still find it disturbing for me. I ran away from this kind of religious propaganda from Iran. Now I stuck in this kind of gain, another kind of propaganda of religious, they're going to imitate it on the streets. I really cannot understand it, why I should listen to this kind of sounds. This is a horrible situation for me, experience actually for me, that every time, twice a day, listening to this kind of sounds, which is meaningless for me. Still, even I'm not a religious person, so all kind of religious sounds, I do not choose it. So if I want to choose listen to some music or soundscape, whatever, it's okay if it's going to be my own choice. So this kind of sounds was something that I experience it every day. And other thing that I can say about my own experience in Europe is this kind of language, different languages. Here we can listen to, for example, Arabic, Turkish, English, French, Italian. You can find lots of languages in cities like Berlin, Rome, Hamburg. And this kind of interesting because you don't understand what they say, and I don't care what they say. It's not about the meaning of the words. It's about the tonation, that's the melody of this speaking, talking. So that's very interesting for me, that I can see different tonation, different pitches, different the rhythm, maybe all kind of that musical elements that we are talking about it in music theory. We can find it now in different languages. You can feel that, okay, this is why we have different kind of music, from Italian music, from French, different composers now. Most of them are based on their own language. So yeah, language and church, I think.
Yeah. That's really interesting that you can hear the language influenced in the music that's created from different cultures.
Yeah, it is very nice, I think. The best part of it, that I said, it's you don't understand the meaning.
It's quite nice sometimes, actually.
Very nice. Very nice. I really like it.
You can tune out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that are they fighting, are they or whatever. That's you're just listening to the sound of that conversation.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. And also I heard it now, the ambulance is the other thing that I have this everyday experience in. But also I think in Berlin it's more than in Hamburg. You can hear it in Berlin every day, many times a day, I think.
It really cuts through everything, doesn't it?
Yeah. Really,
We can hear it very loudly now. But yeah, we have a question that we ask all our guests, and that is, what does giving back mean to you?
To me, giving back is give people good feeling, I think. No, doesn't matter how. Make life easier for them. It's gonna be sometimes, just teaching them music or play something for them. Or maybe, in my own experience, I think this kind of artworks that I had until now was some sort of expression of others' feeling. It's not just me. It's lots of people that have same experience as me. And now in this immigration's idea of this experiencing of new things in your life, and I think it's some sort of giving lots of people the opportunity to find themselves, to courage to express themselves. I think giving back for me is just release some stress from people, maybe. Just life is all about, just being cool, being nice, being friendly. So everything that's leads to this kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah,
and I've really enjoyed chatting to you today, and I cannot wait to go and see the performance.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
really excited to go, and yeah, thank you for coming down to Berlin and being with us here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thanks so much for listening, and I hope you join us next time. If you'd like to find out more information about Iman Jesmi, please check out the links in this episode's description.